That's what I'm talking about!
Is that a joke?
It looks like Square Enix is trying to pull a fast one, everybody. Anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very interesting Marvel's Avengers related video. So, as you should all know by now, and especially if you have been keeping up with my videos covering all the latest updates about the Avengers project, you would be fully aware that it was previously confirmed by Square Enix themselves that they will in fact be attending both the Summer Game Fest and the IGN Summer of Gaming event. And just as a small recap, those two events are pretty much the replacement for what E3 was going to be this year, but instead they are going to be held as digital conferences that you can see online. And due to the fact that Final Fantasy VII Remake is indeed the latest AAA game to release from Square Enix within last month of April, it would only make sense that they now start to move on to their next major title with that of Marvel's Avengers, especially given the fact that it's only a little over 3.5 months until it releases worldwide. And the reason as to why I'm fully reiterating all of this previously given information is because the latest update provided from Square Enix is a bit confusing to say the least. So in case you missed it the other day, there was actually a very interesting tweet from a reporter at Bloomberg fully analyzing the newest details coming directly from Square Enix and how they're going to go forward with promoting their games. And even though the tweet itself is the main thing that we are going to be looking at, I do want to analyze it a bit further with a very insightful article from GameSpot fully diving into what this all means. And to look at the article directly, it does state Square Enix to hold individual game announcements instead of E3 style event. The company behind Marvel's Avengers and the FF7 remake reportedly says one big multi-game presentation is too difficult due to the thing that shall not be named. With E3 cancelled due to the current pandemic, many developers and publishers are holding their own E3 style presentations as digital events. Square Enix is reportedly foregoing that strategy, instead opting for individual presentations on the games in its upcoming slate. Following an investor presentation, Bloomberg reporter Takashi Mochizuki tweeted that the decision was made because producing assets for such a large-scale presentation has become much harder as many studios move to a work-from-home structure. Instead of one umbrella presentation, it will be announcing games individually, on their own schedules. And primarily in past occasions, Square Enix has not been a publisher known for big E3 press conferences. As opposed to competitors like Ubisoft and Bethesda, Square Enix has held press conferences sporadically. Its 2019 presentation included looks at Final Fantasy VII Remake and Marvel's Avengers. Like we know already based on the current information that we do have from Square Enix themselves, Marvel's Avengers is still set to fully release worldwide on September 4th. And the main reason as to why it was delayed in the first place is because it did need a few more months of extra polish. Now, based on all of that information provided, this still is a pretty confusing situation. On the one hand, I do understand why Square Enix would want to do individual game announcements and updates instead of an E3 styled event, because that way they can focus on each upcoming title on a more personal basis. But on the other hand, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for them to say this after they've already been confirmed to attend two separate online digital showcase events with that of Summer Game Fest and IGN Summer of Gaming event. So while this recent update might seem a bit worrisome at first, I could potentially see this as a positive factor in the way that we could potentially receive news for Marvel's Avengers at all three different events, with that of Summer Game Fest, IGN Summer of Gaming, as well as an individual reveal event directly tailored from Square Enix showing nothing but Marvel's Avengers. Because honestly, there is still quite a lot of information that we have yet to see about this game, with that of the online beta, as well as the co-op footage, and even more characters to be added within the overall roster. Knowing that that is just some of the few factors that we have yet to receive more information about for this game, I definitely think they need to start promoting a lot of aspects about Marvel's Avengers relatively soon. And even though I don't like to end videos on a sad note, we were technically supposed to receive Marvel's Avengers tomorrow at the time of this recording on May 15th, considering that that was the original release date. Plus, there have been many rumors out there saying that we could potentially receive a big news blowout for for the game on the day of May 15th in order to try and honor the game's original release date, but if anything, I think Square Enix will just showcase something for the game when they're good and ready. The only thing that we can do now is keep our fingers crossed and hope for the absolute best as to what this game turns out to be. But with all that said, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about this recent update from Square Enix saying that they are going to focus on more individual announcements for their upcoming games, and what aspect of Marvel's Avengers do you want to see be showcased next? For me personally, the biggest factor and primary selling point of this game is in fact going to be the co-op, and the fact that we still haven't received any info about it is extremely worrisome. So after knowing that Square Enix could now potentially be at 3 individual gaming events within the span of a month, I really hope that we receive information about the co-op relatively soon. But until the next big news update, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and peace out.
Reassemble the Avengers and rebuild the team to be Earth's mightiest heroes once again.
Everything you have is built on lies! Lies! Ah!